start. Now, the focus of the students who have late joined, I want to tell you something about this chapter. That is, architecture of CSS theoretical concept will be cleared. CSS modules will be focusing on that, and the different types of frameworks which are being used in industry nowadays. That will be focused in the chapter. And here we'll have an ample number of examples from selector, pseudo class, font, text font, color, background colors, and images. And I'm expecting these things to be clear from your side, that you should be prepared parallelly for the extra reading also. Now we'll move further for the exactly what is there in the syllabus, and we will be moving to the first part, that is architecture. Now, can anyone explain me what is exactly the meaning of architecture is? Yes. Can anyone tell me what is exactly meaning of architecture? Yes, anyone? Anyone? Yes, anyone? Anyone? No one? Aishwarya, Fiza, I'm expecting answers from you. Vaishnavi, Shreya. Am I audible to everybody now?
Yes, sir.
Then this means I want to reply. Yes, I want. What is exactly the meaning of
Sir,
architecture?
design या construct करना, we can say is architecture.
Yes. Anyone? Any reply from any other student? Designing and what? Fiza? Designing and what?
Sir, constructing, design and constructing.
Okay. And what Vaishnavi you want to say? Ashwini? Now see, whenever anything is created, first design should be set. Architecture means with that. जैसे एक human being का architecture बना है कि सर कहाँ पर होना चाहिए, आंखें कहाँ पर होना चाहिए. Okay. So a skeleton that predict what should be there at what location. That is nothing but an architecture. Here, what we are specifying here is that in the syllabus, as far as CSS is concerned, is very simple. We are expecting whenever we are entering, we are writing a code like CSS, we are encashing the cascaded style sheet into your HTML, because CSS is no more without HTML. Now, how it should be written? That is nothing but architecture. What should be written? What should not be written? If you want to be a good programmer and you want to have a career in CSS as a front end developer, so what are things you should maintain? So that thing is being specified as far as the architecture is concerned. तो हमें कौन सी जगह पर क्या लिखना चाहिए, कौन सी चीजों को नहीं लिखना चाहिए, क्या होना चाहिए, क्या नहीं होना चाहिए. The thing is nothing but the architecture, and architecture always focus on the things which will be helping a developer. If you are employee, if you have worked for 5 years or 10 years on CSS, and if you move from your company and your company needs to update your application which you have created previously in 10 years, in those situations it becomes very difficult for the newcomers. And for the newcomers, when he enters, he should know all the standards is been followed. So architecture is always been specified with some standards. कोई चीजों का स्टैंडर्ड अगर हमें पता सर्च करना पड़ेगा तो हमें पता होना चाहिए कि कौन सी जगह पर क्या लिखा है और उसका रेप्लिकेशन हमारे फॉर्म पे कहाँ पर हो रहा है. So the thing is called as a CSS. Now here you are an author. Whenever you are writing cascaded style sheets style sheets मतलब क्या, आप you are writing, you are an author of some documents, और आपका जो टेक्स्ट कंटेंट HTML में जो लिखा है उसको एक रंग रूप दिया है, लुक एंड फील उसको अच्छा करने के लिए आपने उसके अंदर कुछ स्टाइल शीट्स को ऐड किया है. शीट्स मतलब क्या, स्टाइलिंग what you call as a text content that will be helping us to improve the look and feel of your application. So styling is being given by the author, and you as a developer, you are an author of giving a style to your HTML pages. Are you clear? Is it clear to everybody that you are giving a style कि कैसा दिखना चाहिए मेरा फॉन्ट, कौन सा बैकग्राउंड कलर चाहिए, कहाँ पर एग्जैक्टली मैं लोकेट करना चाहता हूँ, उसके पीछे क्या इफेक्ट मुझे देना है, अ टेक्स्ट इफेक्ट, अ बैकग्राउंड इफेक्ट, अ पैडिंग इफेक्ट, अ मार्जिनल इफेक्ट, अ ब्लॉक इफेक्ट, अलग अलग इफेक्ट्स है आपके फॉर्म व्हाट यू कॉल एज डॉक्यूमेंट्स के ऊपर, और वो स्टाइलिंग आपको करना है. सो हियर इज CSS architecture produce a logic to CSS authoring. So whenever you are writing and authoring, you should know from where you have to start. Just in the syllabus, you see the first we have talked about the architecture, then after that modules, and then after that frameworks, and then we have entered into program. So there is a systematic way. The what should be the introduction part, what should be the end part, what should be there in the middle part, conclude कैसे करना है, start कहाँ से करना है, बीच में जो content है वो हमारा कैसा होना चाहिए. So everything is authorized. And here in the CSS architecture, you have to be an author of writing something or writing your style sheets. Now, what is exactly there in the CSS, that think of it, a collection of guidelines have been provided, and most helpful exercises you have to support for developing or writing a code. Means what? You have to follow very standard guidelines for writing a code. So that will be helping us for maintenance. That will be helping us for flexibility to scale. So if whenever any new updation is there, you want to add some new features. So flexibility should be there as far as scaling is there. It means you want to upgrade, you want to move further your application, scaling is required. And most important, that is reusability. For these three main reasons, that is maintenance, for scaling up your application, and for reusability, the thing you have to do, that is you have to move towards some special standards, that is nothing but guidelines, and we call this as CSS architecture. Is it clear to everybody? Yes or no? हम आर्किटेक्चर को क्यों जाते हैं? क्योंकि आर्किटेक्चर हमें हेल्प करेगा मेंटेनेंस करने के लिए. कल जाके किसने मेंटेनेंस को जाना है तो आपको पता होना चाहिए कि कहाँ पर मुझे मेंटेनेंस करना है, क्योंकि यू आर राइटिंग अ कोड ऑफ 10,000 लाइंस, 5,000 लाइंस, और मुझे कहां पर जाने के बाद क्या इफेक्ट आ जाएगा. माइन्यूट चेंजेस करने के बाद पूरा सिस्टम चेंज हो जाएगा, पूरा डॉक्यूमेंट चेंज हो जाएगा. एंड इफ यू डोंट वांट दिस टाइप ऑफ फीचर्स टू बी देयर, यू हैव टू बी वेरी स्पेसिफिक अबाउट द आर्किटेक्चर. यस, इज इट एवरीवन गेटिंग व्हाट आई एम सेइंग? यस, आई वांट टू रिप्लाई yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Okay. सेकेंड, स्केलेबिलिटी. हमें आगे जाना है, कुछ नए चीजों पे इंप्लीमेंट करना है, बिकॉज जैसे जैसे टेक्नोलॉजी बढ़ती जा रही है, नए नए सीएसएस ऐड होते जा रहे हैं. तो आपको अगर उसको आपके सिस्टम के अंदर एम्बेड करना है, आपके कोड के अंदर एम्बेड करना है, तो देयर शुड बी स्कोप ऑफ व्हाट इज कॉल्ड एज स्केलेबिलिटी. आगे जाके अपडेट करने का प्रोविजन भी होना चाहिए. एंड थर्ड वन इज रीयूजेबिलिटी. द कोड विच यू हैव रिटन नीड टू बी रीयूजेबल. So that thing is nothing but what is helping us, that is in CSS architecture. So we accomplish this by using a module approach. So there are different types of approach. That is a modular approach. First one, supporting the organization and communication. So this will be helping us whenever we are implementing this architecture in your real life scenarios. Now, what is exactly the when we talk, that is modularity is heart touching word we are using here. So here everything, because here you'll see that is CSS modules. So in CSS, everything these people have modularized. They have prepared modules, and we will be implementing these modules whenever we are running. We will be implementing these applications or the CSS style sheets in your real life scenarios. So modularity is one of the heart-touching things you will be doing here. Not just for the code level, but for the design level also, it will be helping us to formulate most of the thing. So digital products have been developed to set in earlier years. Now I want to focus you some of the most important thing, that is whenever we are moving to the CSS architecture, you have to be very specific about the modularity. That is the modules you will be using in your application. So what types of modules are there? We'll have a discussion in the later part of your today's chapter. But thing is that you have to be very specific about what is exactly the modularity. There are various levels you will be using, and I want to specify that there are some what is separate and categorize your code. So thing is that whenever you are moving with the architecture, first thing you have to keep in mind, will be helping us, this architecture will be helping us to separate and categorize your code. Now what exactly separating means? What you will be separating your style sheets, you will be separating your HTML code, everything will be separated. Now here I want to demonstrate with the help of display show you in a form of one of the what do we call as actually what is happening into this. So we were talking about this separate and categorizing your code. Now what is exactly here? Now is it visible to everybody now? So in this I want to zooming it. So whenever you are writing any what do we call as a CSS, something you will be importing. So thing is the importing will be specified at the start. You will be writing something in the comment. In CSS, the comments are given just like your C or your Java programs. 2// will be giving comments in your CSS file. So the import part should be specified at the top end, because you will see it is not a programming language, it is a style sheet. You write import anywhere in your system, it will be getting executed. तो CSS में कहाँ पर भी import लिखा जाए, कहाँ पर भी लास्ट में बॉटम में लिखा तभी भी वो execute हो जाता है. But thing is that it is always preferred to write something at the top. So CSS, whatever you are specifying, that is an import statement should be specified, and you have to write the base thing. For what purpose you have imported this type of style sheet into your application. So this is one more important thing as far as we say, that is separating and categorizing your code. So you need to write, whenever you are moving to the architecture, you need to write the import statements, and for that purpose, for what purpose you have used it, you have to specify it in multi-line or single line comments, so that the user who will be using, the developer who will be using after some time, he should know for what purpose you have implemented, you have used this ready-made code in your application. So this is one thing. Second one, you have to specify the default layers, that is what we call global variables. Whenever you are moving to the JavaScript, you have to specify the tools which you have used. You have to specify the generic syntax, that is CSS, what you have used, a base, objects, components and terms. So everything what you will be using designing your application, you need to set it a default layers. So everything that is the first part should be your default layer. So we call it as a separate and categorizing your code. Okay. So this you have to do at the initial stage. Second, this set your components. So setting your components मतलब क्या, जो CSS के architecture में आप use करना चाहते हैं, whether it is a button, whether it is what we call as accordance, or whether models you are using, it need to be specified. So for that is nothing but you're setting your components. You have to set everything. And just for the example, if you are using a button, so for that purpose, you will be writing some CSS. So you want to make some special button. So you have to specify that that is a class that is being specified with dot a button. This means whatever code you want to specify word button, it should be replicated with the name called as a button. So see, this is nothing but a modularizing, that the effects only will be added to the button. So you are giving a specific class that is a dot buttons. This means these features which are written into this curly braces will be implemented to the buttons which are written in my code. Third one, apply a naming convention. It is always preferred to apply a naming convention. Now naming convention means what? आप जब भी code लिखेंगे, because it is user defined, आप जो लिखेंगे that will be accepted. It is not predefined, just like a C, Java, जहाँ पर सब कुछ पहले से ready-made है. यहाँ पर आपको your author, you will be writing anything whatever it is there in your mind. So user defined things are been there, so there is ambiguity कि लोगों को समझ में नहीं आएगा कि आपने क्या लिखा है. So for that purpose, it is always recommended that you should apply some naming convention. So there you have to apply this naming convention for your blocks, for your elements, and for your modifiers. Now block मतलब क्या, यानी अगर आपको कुछ कोड लिखना है इसके अंदर, so you are specifying a code to be written over here. So the blocks are written. So here I am giving standard way of writing a block, that is a block hyphen post. So where you want to specify, that is to be specified, and then you are writing some CSS over here. So this is nothing but a block level, what we call as naming convention. And for element level naming convention, whenever we are talking, you are giving the block post, underscore is there. Underscore means I am ignoring this part. So underscore, and it is two underscores. See, these two underscores are being given attaching to one another, and then you are giving the name of that element. So where you want to specify, and then after that you are writing some CSS over there. And this is nothing but we call as element level naming convention. Block level means what? A single block. If you want to give to a specific element, two underscore and with that element. And third one is modifiers. So modifiers means you want to use at any situation, you will be given two what I call as hyphen signs. So that is again two hyphen sign, and you will specify with some specific name. So this is the basic things that you have to follow whenever you are writing any CSS. Dot block hyphen the post where you want to specify. This is for your block level. And for element level, you have to say two underscore and then a specific element, whether it's a paragraph, whether it is a div, whether it is a span, So you have to specify over there. And whenever you want to use some modifier, so what exactly modifier we'll be talking into detail, a specific unique name you want to use everywhere. So you have to use two under what you call as hyphen signs and with giving some dynamic name for your execution. So this is what is expected as far as the standard is concerned. Now we will be focusing on what are the great goals of great CSS. So goal is very simple. The goal of CSS, that is why we are moving toward this, that is CSS architecture. तो हमारा इंटेंशन बहुत सिंपल है, प्रेडिक्टेबिलिटी की कहाँ पर कौन सा कोड है, आप उसको रीड करते समय प्रेडिक्ट करेंगे कि ये चीज मतलब इस के साथ रेफर की जाती है, मैंने उस यूजर ने यानी डेवलपर ने ये कोड लिखा है, प्रेडिक्शन आता है आपको उस कोड को पढ़ने के बाद. सो फर्स्ट थिंग इज दैट व्हेनेवर यू आर मूविंग टुवर्ड्स द आर्किटेक्चर, फर्स्ट थिंग इज दैट द कोड विल बी प्रेडिक्टेबल. Second one, reusable. Any person from your team can be using, can be reusing, can be updating as and when required. So this will be helping you for update, that is reusability. Maintenance team can do maintenance if you are there or if you are not there in the company. If you are there in the project, if you are not there in the project, the lay person, anyone from your team can do maintenance in very systematic way. And the fourth one, scalability. Scalability matlab means any person can add something more into your CSS what you have written, और आपका कोड और बढ़कर और अच्छे अच्छे फीचर्स उसके साथ ऐड हो सकते हैं. So this is the ultimate reason why we are moving towards CSS architecture. Is it clear to everybody? The basic four important things you have to understand as far as CSS is concerned. Yes or no? Yes, everyone got it? सबको समझ में आया?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, shall I move further now?
Yes, sir.
Now we'll move further for the remaining theoretical part, and then after that we'll be moving to different types of CSS. Now we will be talking about the different, what you call as the introduction part, need to be specified what is exactly CSS is, what is the history of CSS, who has invented this CSS, what is the purpose of CSS, we'll be talking into detail. Now here I have specified everything as far as the syllabus is concerned. So introduction 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4 will be covered from my side. And as an extra reading from your side, I'm expecting that the transition and the embedded medias part will be that the things which I have forecasted or displayed on the blue colors will be done from your side. So I will be moving further. What is exactly CSS stands for? So CSS always stands for, I think the meaning is the word you always know, that is CSS is nothing but cascading, means adding style sheets. तो कैस्केडिंग मींस मतलब आप इंटर कनेक्ट कर रहे हैं दो अलग अलग टेक्नोलॉजीज को, तीन अलग अलग टेक्नोलॉजीज को, जावास्क्रिप्ट को कर रहे हैं, जावा को, एचटीएमएल को कर रहे हैं, CSS को कर रहे हैं, jQuery को कर रहे हैं. Any new technologies will be embedded with one another. That is nothing but a cascaded style sheet. So this will be helping us to give a very wonderful designs to your documents and helping us your web pages to feel very good, excellent, and interactive to the user who will be using that in a coming scenario. Now CSS for a student purpose or for the professional purpose are in a different flavors. So as a student, I'm expecting that you should be very much clear with the basic things, what are types of CSS are there. And when you become a professional with a 2-3 year of experience, you should be a master of writing wonderful CSS. But for the purpose of student, you should be clear with lot many things. So what are the advantages of CSS? That are things I again want to specify, that is it will be creating a stunning websites, a very wonderful websites with huge number of columns, images, a front, a colors, a text, what do you call as a background colors, variations, display, everything will be the layouts for your design, everything will be done. And this will be helping us to create a stunning websites whenever you are moving to the CSS. Second important thing, that is you will be making an application that is a web design. Become a web designer, it is most important that you should be very much familiar with the HTML. And second most important thing is that you have to be very good in CSS. Then only you can say that I am a very good web designer. Knowing HTML is not a web designer. You have to be an expert in CSS. That is one more thing. Then third one is control web. So with the help of CSS, you will be helping us to the HTML, these developed documents to be getting catchy, and it will be helping us to control your contents on your form. So the controlling of your web pages will be done by a wonderful, what do you call as an CSS. And the fourth important, that is learn other languages. Apart from CSS, whenever you are being a developer of CSS, you will be very much familiar with the HTML, because you have to know the HTML, you have to know the JavaScript, you have to know the PHP, you have to know the Angular. So only a CSS developer is not a CSS developer. He have to be a jack of everything. And what is jack? He have to know what is HTML, what is JavaScript, what is PHP, and what is Angular. So this type of technology will be known if you are moving towards CSS. So this is what is important. And as far as the applications are being concerned, so what all applications are being created with the help of CSS, you will see CSS will save your time, because with writing expertise in CSS, it will be helping us to create an application that will be reducing the time for the developer. Second one, the page loading will be done faster, because you will be writing a wonderful CSS that will be helping us to execute more faster, and the look and feel of your system will be very much will be done excellently. Rather than using HTML properties, it is always preferable to go for CSS properties. Okay, so HTML, you know, there are different attributes of HTML. Loading those attributes, it requires some time, rather than if you are going using a CSS properties, it will be helping us to load your application more faster comparative to other types of JavaScript or another types of technologies. Easy maintenance, because once you have make a change in one thing, one text part, it will be replicated on whole document. So maintenance will be done. This is one more important thing about your CSS. Superior style of HTML, because this will be giving a superior style sheets to your HTML documents. Your HTML will be changed drastically with the help of CSS. Multiple device compatibility. Nowadays, people are having a websites that are not only concerned about the desktop. Now people want to have an access to your website on your mobile also, on your tab also. So to make it compatible, that is a device compatible. So it is very much important that you should be an expert in CSS3. If you are comfortable with CSS3, then only your website will be compatible to your mobile, compatible to your laptops, compatible to any other browsers which are working in the industry. Okay, so compatibility as far as devices, compatibility with the help of other what you call as a browsers which are there in market. You cannot force a user to use Chrome only. The user can use any type of browser. So PD, that is your CSS will be helping us to have a multiple device compatibility. Global web standards are there as far as CSS is concerned. So whenever you are implementing CSS, that standards will be applicable throughout the world. So you don't have to take in consider कि मैंने जो वेबसाइट बनाएंगे यूएस के और यूके में कैसे दिखाई देंगे. Everywhere will it will look same as you have designed. Is it clear to you as far as the applications of CSS is there? Why we are moving to CSS? Because we will be making some wonderful applications. Shall I move further as far as the history of CSS is concerned? Shall I move for the history? Yes or no? Or should you want any more explanation as far as the applications of CSS are concerned? Yes or no? I want your reply. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
आगे जाना है कि फिर से पढ़ाना है? Tell me. Yes. बोलो. Yes, I want a reply. आगे जाना है कि फिर से पढ़ाऊं वही जो मैंने बताया था? Yes. तेजस.
आगे जाना है, सर.
आगे. शोभित. Yes. शोभित want to say something? शोभित. चलो आगे. आदिति फारदूसन दिसली. Yes, Aditi. Shall I move further or shall I explain again? उत्कर्षा. प्राजक्ता. क्या करना है? आगे जाना है कि रुकना है? रिप्लाई दे दो. फास्ट रिप्लाई जब आएंगे तभी मैं आगे जा सकता हूँ. आई वॉन्ट योर रिप्लाई वेरी फास्ट. यस. यस. मूव फॉरवर्ड. ओके. तेजस मंत्री. यस. मैं आगे जा रहा हूँ. आप पीछे क्या कर रहे हैं मुझे तो कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा. ओके. Now, as far as the history is concerned, the person called as a Hakon Wim Lee is called as a father of CSS. You keep in mind the name of the person. This may be asked in MCQ. The name of the person who has invented the CSS with the help of the father of HTML, that is a Tim Berners-Lee. Everyone knows the father of HTML. He is nothing but the father of HTML is Tim Berners-Lee. And with the help of the Tim Berners-Lee, the person Håkon Wim Lee, who has created CSS, first proposed in 1995, that is October 10, 1994. It was being created by Håkon Wim Lee, and it was at Kera. This is one of the institute, we call it as the European Organization for Nuclear Research. So here it was been invented, that we call it as Kera, and this was being created in 1994, and that day onwards it has started its journey, and now we have ended with CSS third version. So CSS 3, before that coming CSS 3, there was some new, some more technologies were working in those days as far as the cascading or giving what we call as a look and feel, improving the look and feel of HTML. The technology was named as JSSS. So you should know the technology before CSS was JSSS, but you see the JSSS never worked for the long duration. It was takeover, and finally the CSS won the thing, and it has boomed in the market from last 30 years. So you see into last 24, 25 years, it has boomed in a very systematic way. And nowadays people are much more concerned about CSS versions which are coming in as far as version 1, 2, and third version, which is there in the market. So previously it was JSSS. Now it is been overtaken with a new technology, that is CSS, and it has started its journey in 1994. Keep in mind the name of the person, that is Håkon Wim Lee, who has taken the help of Tim Berners-Lee in 1994, who has invented HTML, and from that day onwards it has started its journey up till now. Now the various versions which has came across this CSS, that is CSS1. The first documents which was been standardized by W3C consortium, because this is the only organization, एक ही ऐसी organization है जिसने इसके standards बढ़ाने का recommendation दिया है, and that is nothing but W3C, World Wide Web Consortium. And the first release was done in 1996, invented in 1994, but it has been standardized by W3C in 1996. And from 1996, the second version, that is CSS2, came into exist in 1998. And now we are working with CSS3. Is it clear to everybody how it has started? From 1994, the first version came in 1996. We called it as CSS1. 1998, the second version, that is CSS2, came into exist. And nowadays, in 2000 onwards, we are in CSS3. So 2005 was the year, I think so, where we have started with CSS3. Is it clear to you? Now we are in a version number 3. We call it as CSS3. Yes or no? Is everyone getting it? सबको समझ में आया कि हम CSS3 यूज कर रहे हैं?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ओके ओके. नाउ हमें डिफरेंस पता होना चाहिए कि CSS1 में और CSS3 में क्या फर्क है. So CSS means CSS1 by default and CSS2. So before CSS3, everything that is CSS1 or CSS2, we call it as CSS1 and CSS2. Now we'll be comparing with the first version of CSS, that is CSS, and with the CSS3. Now both CSS and CSS3 are popular choice of the people till date, because if you are familiar with CSS3, it doesn't mean that you should not know what is exactly there in CSS. So you should know CSS, then only you can understand CSS3. So all properties of CSS are being taken by CSS3. So you should know CSS first, and then only after that you can understand CSS3, because it is addition. Some things are added into your CSS, then only it is has the version has been changed. So the difference between CSS and CSS3, CSS modules, and you have to keep in mind CSS3, one thing is added, that is modules has been added. CSS is a basic version and you have to know what is there in CSS. आप उसको ignore करके नहीं जा सकते. It does not support responsive design. कौन? CSS doesn't support responsive designs, whereas CS3 on the other hand is the latest version and supports responsive design. So this is the basic difference. CS design, CSS don't support responsive design. CSS cannot be split into modules, whereas CSS3 can be split into the modules. Can be split into the modules. Can be split into the modules. So you have to keep in mind that it can be split into the modules. Being the older version of CSS, CSS is slower, whereas CSS3 is faster. Next difference is that in addition to this, I want to specify that CSS3 has many alignment features. CSS3 provide a box sizing tools. It allows the user to get a correct size of any element without making any change in the dimension or padding. So you can increase the size of the image or lower the size of the image. Don't changing the size of a pixel. So it is very wonderful to go for CSS3. It will be helping us to give excellent effect through paddings. CSS does not have any boxing size. You know, it is not having boxing sizing tools. It is not used for the standard producing definition of aligned text. So as far as the text alignment is concerned, it is not preferable to go for CSS. It is always preferable to go for CSS3. And as far as the animation is concerned, if you are moving for animation, whether it is 3D transformation, it is better to use CSS3. Elements can be removed on the screen with the help of Flash and JavaScript with the help of CSS3. Using these elements, you will also be able to change the size and colors. All kind of transformation can be done, transition can be done, and animations can be done. What is exactly transformation and transition? We'll have a live demonstration in the further session. So transition मतलब क्या, transformation मतलब क्या, कैसे वो use किया जाता है, animation की कैफियत कैसे दी जाता है. Everything is been supported by CSS3, whereas CSS, the old version, does not support three-dimensional or your transformation. So lot many things has added into the third version. Second, next third things I want to specify, that is a CSS provide a basics color schemes are being used, and in CSS3 you will find different types of color schemes are there, that is RGBA, HSLA, and HSL. So we'll go into detail what this type of coloring techniques are there. We'll have a demonstration of HGBA, what exactly it stands for, red, green, blue, and what is this A stands for, what is HSLA. Oh, okay, what is HSL? Everything will be specified in the upcoming lecture. For that purpose, you have to be very regular for your classes. So that then only I will be very much precise to help you in getting what is exactly the meaning of this word is. And you will find that CSS3 will be helping us to give very wonderful color compared to CSS, because CSS has a very small set of color schemas. So it also supports for rounded images. So you can have a rounded image corners, you can have a text boxes, everything can be supported as far as CSS3 is concerned. Multi-column text blocks can be created with the help of CSS3, whereas you cannot use a what you call as a boxes, only single boxes text content can be specified as far as CSS is concerned. Yes, is it clear to everybody? So how wonderful the CSS3 is as compared to the CSS? Yes. Yes, everyone is getting what exactly the difference is there with this effect as far as animation, as far as color schema is concerned, as far as the blocking is concerned, as far as designing with the help of modules is concerned. दोनों में बहुत फर्क है. CSS बहुत सारी चीजों को नहीं सपोर्ट करता. CSS3 supports everything what you see nowadays on your websites. Yes. Shall I move further for the comparison between the two with the help of some what do you call it, the tabular format? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we will have a compatibility as far as this is concerned, compatibility with CSS and CSS3. Now, what is exactly the compatibility? CSS1 that we say that is not compatible with CSS3. That's because it is an older version. Whereas CSS3 is background compatible, means whatever written in CSS can be implemented in CSS3. So you can use CSS into your CSS3, but you cannot use CSS3 into your CSS1. This is the one thing you have to be found, that is compatibility. CSS is not forward compatible because forward compatibility is not there in CSS, whereas CSS3 is backward compatible, means whatever the ancestors have done in the previous version can be used in the version of CSS3, that is compatibility. rounded corners and grading. You'll see rounded corners as far as image is concerned. Yeah, everything is concerned. It is not been supported in CSS, whereas it is supported in your CSS3. I am expecting that you should go into detail the theory what I have written. Second one, animation and text effect is not supported here in CSS. It has always been specified as far as CSS3 is concerned. Listing, whatever you want to display, some list of images or back anything, it is not specified as per your requirement, because here you can have a very limited size, that is circles, squares can be used, but here you can use different types of images for displaying your highlighters, just like a circle, a square, which you have used for listing those components. Here you can use multiple types of properties for using the images as far as the front, what you call as a bullet points is concerned. So listing is wonderful be done with CSS3. And pseudo classes, will have a demonstration of pseudo classes which are not supported in CSS. You will find pseudo classes are very efficiently been explained in your CSS3. So comparatively CSS1, CSS3 is more what you call as adversified, backward compatible, and excellent in implementing the new techniques of your style sheets. Now, as far as CSS style sheet is concerned, the language used for describing the look and format of documents is nothing but your CSS. Is the largest standard of CSS earlier, that is CSS2 is one of the standard that has came after CSS. And the main difference between CSS2 and CSS3 is media queries, which was there in CSS2, it is again added. Namespaces are there, been added into CSS2. Selector level, third level selectors are been added into CSS2, and different types of color formats are been added in CSS2. So basically, whatever things are added in CSS2 is nothing but these four basic things which are added in the version number 2. And as far as the comparison is done, CSS3 is apart, more flexible than a CSS2. So what is there, if the interviewer asks you what is there in CSS2 compared to CSS1, you have to specify that ये चार चीजें उन लोगों ने add की थी from moving from version number 1 into version number 2. That is media queries, namespaces, selector at level 3, and colors. So all these things has been added as far as the version 2 and 3 is concerned. Yes, is it clear to everybody? Yes or no? Is it clear to everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, ये CSS3 में एक ही चीज सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट है, CSS3 में मॉड्यूल्स है. कंपैरिजन हम करना चाहेंगे तो हम कंपेयर करेंगे, CSS1 और 2 में मॉड्यूल्स नहीं था, CSS3 में मॉड्यूल्स है. और ये MCQ में पूछा जाएगा which all types of modules are there in CSS. हमें बहुत डिटेल में जाना नहीं है, because your syllabus has not given that scope of entering into the more detailed way. But for the sake of student, we should know, and I will be sharing some videos that you have to go into detail of what types of modules are there. Now modules मतलब क्या, अगर हमें कोई specific section को ही effect देना है, so CSS is a collaboration of CSS2 specification. This means CSS2 में जो है वो तो उसके अंदर है ही है, and new specifications are been added. So CSS3 contains CSS2 4 different types of effects, and apart from that it has some new specification. We can call this as a modules. Okay, so here 4 plus remaining 10 modules have been added. So what all modules are there? The first module is selectors module. Second module is box modules. Now what is selectors? We'll have a demonstration, we'll have an examples, because your syllabus has said that we have to talk more detail about CSS selector. So selector will be there. Box module is another thing that you want to give some effect to the boxes you want to specify, and for that box only you want to give some CSS. Box module is that. Background module is there, specifically having a bunch of CSS for only background. Image values and replacement contents are there, for that will be helping you for giving some more effect for your images. Text effects are added, so there is a text module. 2D transformation, that is 2-dimensional transformation is been there with, that is we call it as a 2D transformation module. 3D transformation module is there in CSS3, that is helping us for 3-dimensional modules. Animations, one more module this people have added, that is animation modules. Multiple column layouts, you can create multiple columns. Layout can be done with ready-made set of CSS. You just have to use, and automatically it will be created. And user interfaces, module is also been there. So 10 new modules have been added as far as version 3 of CSS is concerned, and it is having another the previous 4 modules of CSS2 also. Is it clear to you what all modules are there in CSS3? This is question been asked in MCQ, and you should be prepared with the what types of modules are there in CSS3. Selector, box module, background module, image value and replacement content, text effect, 2D transformation, 3D transformation, animation, multiple column layout, and user interface modules. So 10 modules are there in your CSS3. Is it clear to everybody? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
अभी हम बात करेंगे ये मॉड्यूल्स के बाद हम बात करेंगे कि what is especially there. I have stopped here. Now ये हम जब बात करेंगे CSS और CSS3 के बारे में. So in CSS there are ready-made properties. I will be zooming it. Okay. Is it visible to everybody? तो सिंगल इसमें मैं करता हूँ, सिंगल पेज में zoom करता हूँ. So you'll see F11. One thing I want to zoom more. One second. View, and I will go for full screen. Okay, it is there still. Okay. You will see the different types of what we call as CSS ready-made bundles are available for us. So CSS color is there, background is there, border is there, margin, padding, height, weight, text, font, link, list, table, n number. How much number? 31 types of CSS properties are already written. If you want to work on images, there is image gallery, image opacity, image spirit. You want to talk, have an effect on pseudo classes. So there is a CSS pseudo class, pseudo elements. You want to work on alignment, there is a CSS alignment. If you want to work on inline blocks, there is a block. If you want to have a floating effect, CSS float. You want to work on position, there is a position. You want to have some display effect, outlines, a box model. 31 types of CSS are already available in your CSS first version. And when you talk about CSS3, you'll find there is repeated name that you'll see, that is CSS background, and you'll see the same name you have used here in CSS background. I'm talking about colors. So CSS3, there is a CSS3 color properties. Same CSS3, CSS first version color properties are also there. देखो नाम फिर से रिपीट हो चुके हैं. टेक्स्ट प्रॉपर्टीज, देयर इज अ CSS टेक्स्ट. Font property, there is again a font property of your CSS2. See this, the name is there. 2D effect, 3D effect, new added, transformation, animation. You will find the gradient has been added, shadows are been added, border. But the basic 4 properties you will see, the text properties, the font properties, the color properties, background properties, which are already there in CSS. You again been added into CSS3. ये सब कुछ ऐड हो चुकी है. तो मुझे सिर्फ एक डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन एक दिखाना है कि when we talk about CSS3, you should be very much clear with CSS. Then only you can talk with CSS3, because CSS developer is not with the version. CSS developer is a person who knows what is CSS1 is, what is CSS2 is, and what is CSS3 is. So we, as a front-end developer, we should know what is there in CSS version 1, what is there in CSS3, and how I can implement it in a real-life scenario for making my HTML document wonderful. Is it clear to everybody? Yes or no? What I want to say, that you should know what is CSS1, you should know what is CSS3, and you cannot say that I am a CSS3 developer. You have to say that you are a CSS developer, and you should be very much clear with all versions. Version change, it doesn't mean that you have to miss the first version. You have to know what is there in first version, then only you can move further. Is it clear to everybody? What all features are there in CSS and what all features are there in third version? See, the version first is very excellent. You will see multiple CSS are there. 31 set of ready-made libraries are made available. You just have to use the name and you have to add your values and get an effect on your program. Yes, is it clear to everybody? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I want to show you on my document कि ये दोनों में difference क्या है. I want to show you. Now see what I have talked here in this example was देखो हम एक example लेंगे. For example, I will be highlighting with the color code as this. So I will be saying that a CSS3 background property or CSS1 background property. But as a developer, I should know the CSS background property. तो background property मतलब क्या? मुझे background की properties पता होना चाहिए. So I will go for the example. You will see I've moved to this W3C. This is an official website you can use for your knowing more things in detail. So here I want to specify that is the first property, that is CSS property of background in version number 1. The list is very simple. There is a background color. There is background color. Here I have zoomed it. So here there is a background color. There is background image. There is background repeat, background attachment, and background position. Now it is in CSS background properties. This is CSS background property. And when I say I want to know the CSS3 background properties, so again I am moving towards the property set. So previously it was having some 4 5. Now in CSS3, this is CSS3 background properties, and you'll find again 3 things have been added. That is background size, background origin, and background keep. So in all these 3 plus this 5 and 3, 6, 7, 8, you have to be clear with 8 properties as far as background is concerned. तो हम उसको बोल नहीं सकते ये सर वर्जन 1 में, ये वर्जन 3 में. हमें सब कुछ पता होना बहुत जरूरी है. ये मैंने एक एग्जांपल लिया आपके लिए, आज के एग्जांपल, कि आपको समझना चाहिए कि हमें CSS को भूलना नहीं है. CSS भी पता होना चाहिए, CSS भी पता होना चाहिए, because it is there in your syllabus that you should be clear with background images. You should be clear with the font properties, text properties. Yes. Is this clear to everybody? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in just 2 minutes, we'll have a frameworks. मुझे example देना है कि there are different frameworks in available in market, and the theory will be shared with you. The frameworks मतलब क्या? Ready-made tools that will be helping a developer to create wonderful application that will be implementing CSS1, CSS2, and CSS3. The documents will be shared with you for knowing what are the pros and cons of different types of tools available in market. Why we go for CSS is another big question. कि हमें CSS के framework को क्यों जाना चाहिए? Because यहाँ पर हम कम से कम टाइम में ज्यादा से ज्यादा एप्लीकेशंस बना सकते. Framework will be helping us to get ready-made code with just a drag and drop, with just a single dot. You can add any type of features for your HTML documents. If you want to add background colors, you can get colors. If you want to add effect to your elements, everything can be added. There are different types of menus available. You can use it. There are different types of card available. If you want to make some, and for that purpose, there were different tools available in market. This name is available. You can search it. There are various videos which will be helping us to know how we can implement CSS with this tool. So download it. Bootstrap is there. Second, I have given why we should go for Bootstrap. Details we will be discussing in our upcoming session. What are the drawbacks of using Bootstrap? What is the version when it was being created? What all websites are being created with the help of this? So Spotify, Coursera, this type of websites you will find which are being created by the Bootstrap. Second, tools, which is a tool which is available in market, that is Foundation. You can use this tool also for creating a CSS application for the purpose of animation. So it is focusing on animation, and you'll see the reason why this has been used by the people. Drawbacks are there, and you will see the website like Amazon, Mozilla, Adobe. This type of websites are being created with the help of this what we call as a Foundation. Third tool, that is Bulma. It's one of the tool which is used in industry for the CSS by the CSS developer, and the logo is like this. You can use for the purpose of creating different type of application. The most recently used application is Div, Cube, and Economist. This type of application are there. Fourth is Telewind. Nowadays people are using this one. Telewind, I will share some videos of Telewind, how you can use this Telewind application. So Telewind is one of the framework which can be used for atomic CSS. Automatic, you can use the CSS for the purpose of execution. And you will see the Livestorm or Mogic, this type of websites are already being created. and it can support all modules of your browsers. Another tools which is available, we call it as a framework, that is UI Kit. This is also there in the market, and different applications are being created like LightTube or Rover.com. These are the websites which are being created by this, and you will see that different types of sites, that is 311,000 websites are being created with this type of tool. Milligram is one of the gain framework which is being used, and Pure is one of another framework which is being used. And I want Pure, if you are using Pure, you have seen just Yahoo के website पे जाने के बाद you will see the CSS used, the tool which is used, the framework which is used is nothing but the Pure framework. And the eighth one is Technison. This is one of the tool which is used by the developers also. Materialize CSS, ये भी एक tool है. ये बहुत सारे टूल्स मेरे को सिर्फ एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए आपको बताए. दिस इज व्हाट द फ्रेमवर्क इज. नाउ यू कैन नॉट रेस्ट्रिक्ट योर यूजर दैट आपने सर बूटस्ट्रैप ही यूज करना चाहिए, या फिर आपने सर फाउंडेशन ही यूज करना चाहिए, या फिर आपने बल्मा यूज करना चाहिए, या फिर आपने सिर्फ टेलीविंड यूज करना चाहिए. ईच कंपनी हैज देयर ओन चॉइस विच टाइप ऑफ फ्रेमवर्क्स दे वांट टू यूज. You will see there are different types of framework which are readily available, freely available. You can go and download these frameworks. Ready-made सिर्फ आपके प्रोजेक्ट में इसको कॉपी पेस्ट करना है और ये फ्रेमवर्क को यूज करना है. सब CSS रेडीमेड आपके सामने आ जाएंगे. But this is for the purpose of profession. If you are expert in writing a CSS, then only you need to move towards this frameworks. So for the purpose of understanding the frameworks, this theory part I have covered. I think this is clear for the chapter. We'll meet tomorrow. If you have any doubts now, you can speak with me for 1 minute. I will have an attendance for the session also. Any doubts, any question you want to have? किसको कुछ पूछना है? Anyone, any doubts? कोई question? Yes. Any question? I will be sharing immediately this as notes as far as today's content is concerned, that is the frameworks. Industry में ध्यान में रखना, lot many tools are available, lot many frameworks are available. उसमें से bootstrap ये नाम आपने बहुत बार सुना होगा. Nowadays there are huge opening for bootstrap. तो ये लोग CSS developer ये bootstrap framework use करते हैं. बहुत सारे frameworks available है. Foundation is there, Bulma is there, then UI Kit is there, Milligram is there, Foundation is there, Pure is there, Materialize CSS is there, multiple type of frameworks. इतने सिर्फ मैंने कुछ 9 के नाम बताए. इंडस्ट्री में 15, 20, 25 टूल्स अवेलेबल है. यू हैव, आज असाइनमेंट्स में देना चाहता हूँ कि आप ये सभी टूल्स के नाम लिख के लो, आपको पता होना चाहिए, बिकॉज दिस क्वेश्चन मे बी आस्क्ड इन MCQ that whatever frameworks are available as far as CSS is concerned. I think this was the third point of the today's chapter. And is it clear to everybody as far as the modules are concerned, as far as the framework is concerned, and as far as the architecture is concerned? Is this 3 points clear to everybody, or should we move for again re-explaining this in upcoming session that will be scheduled on Monday? Any doubt, any question? Yes. Yes. Yes, any doubt, any question?
No, sir.
Okay. So I will share my notes immediately on the WhatsApp. You can join, you can get those notes. और ये 3 चीजें बहुत important है. MCQs of HTML5, I'm expecting the assignment for you. You have to write 100 MCQs for HTML5. 100 MCQs. You search it and you write 100 MCQ in a separate 200 pages notebook. So assignment will be sent as far as the theory assignment is concerned for the chapter 1. So we'll meet on Monday. And for that 2 days, the assignment is that you have to search 100 MCQs specifically on HTML5. The website link will be provided from my side. You have to write in 200 pages notebook, special 100 MCQs with your question, with your option, and with your answer. Okay, is it clear to everybody? सबको समझ में आया assignment for the day? Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, I will send officially on a portal so that you can understand what you have to do. Yes. So we'll meet on Monday. Till then, take care.